What's your name and your organization?
With the help of the Almighty, my name is Rabbi David Weiss from the Turei Karta, Jews United Against Zionism.
What's your opinion on this agreement, called agreement?
Well, it's just one other link in a long, long chain of sorrow. In Arabic they call it Nakba. The nations of the world, unfortunately, are missing the point. They're missing what the core issue is, and that is the victims are being vilified. The Palestinian people are simply victims. The Jewish people who have been living and residing in Jerusalem and Al-Quds for hundreds of years together with Palestinian people are victims. They have been, their identity has been usurped, has been stolen by Zionism and the State of Israel. The Star of David, the name Israel, which is Jacob, is simply a facade being used by people who detest the Jewish religion, the creators of the State of Israel. Theodor Herzl, Ben-Gurion, Chaim Weizmann, Netanyahu today, Jabotinsky at those times, they decided to create a state that is in direct contradiction to the Jewish religion, to Judaism. Judaism is subservience to God. It's a covenant of 3,000 years of Jews to accept, to be subservient to God on Mount Sinai 3,000 years ago. This movement, this creation of a state is a mere 100-odd years. The concept of making a state, it was created by, as I say, atheists, rebels against God, to make a nationalist home. That is not what Judaism is. We are forbidden to occupy, to steal, to kill. We are forbidden to have a Jewish state since 2,000 years ago, since the destruction of the temple. That is a clear command from God to the Jewish people. And this was obeyed and respected by Jews throughout our history, this 2,000-year history of Jewish people in exile. The concept of making a Jewish sovereignty is antithetical and forbidden for Jewish people. We will never accept it, and certainly not by occupying and destroying the homes of Palestinians, throwing them out of their homes, banishing them from their land. In every facet, every way you look at the State of Israel, it is criminal and unacceptable. And as Jews, because we are Jews, we stand in opposition to the State of Israel. Yet the leaders, as Netanyahu and the other leaders of the State of Israel, traipse around the world, using the Star of David, using the Holocaust, using the name of Judaism as a guilt ride on the people around the world for the suffering of the Holocaust, using the name to glean support, as if you're supporting them and the State of Israel, you are supporting God. And that is deplorable and unacceptable and criminal. Invariably, the Jews around the world, whether it is in Jerusalem and Al-Quds, or in England, or here in the United States, the ones who are truly religious, who are standing straight and upholding the Jewish religion, refuse to accept this occupation. That is why we're here. Our hearts cry with the suffering of the Palestinians. We just heard the deal, this great deal that they're making for peace. And again, we say, once again, they missed the point. Peace cannot be made with thieves promising them that you'll make a compromise. Somebody stole a house and you're promising that you're going to give them only 3 rooms instead of 10 rooms. And the rest of the rooms you're going to give to the other people, the owner of the house. They stole the rooms. They don't belong there. As Jews, yes, we live together in harmony with Muslims. We live together with the Palestinians for hundreds of years. That's not the problem. It has nothing to do with a religious conflict, and you're not anti-Semitic if you stand in opposition to the occupation. The solution is one thing: remove these criminals, remove these thieves, remove the Zionist movement, who are not only oppressing the Palestinians, Palestinian people, the non-Jewish people, but the Jewish people. We carry with us pictures showing how Jews are being daily beaten simply because they're standing and demonstrating against the occupation. Here you see girls, young girls arrested because they refuse to serve in the Israeli army. This is happening daily. Every girl and boy who turns 17 gets arrested and many times beaten simply because they refuse to serve in the army of the occupiers. It's against our religion. They traipse, they go in with horses and trample on the Jewish people there, and the world is silent. This is what's happening to my Jewish brethren in occupied Palestine. In fact, just yesterday, they went into Mea Sha'arim, which is a neighborhood in Jerusalem, and the Jewish people have flags there on the walls. In the Jewish community, Palestinian flags. So they went in with trucks and grabbed off all the Palestinian flags from the Jewish neighborhood and then broke into the houses trying to look for flags to take away. But we demonstrate around the world, hundreds of thousands of Jews in Jerusalem, in New York, and around the world, saying that we will remain firm and strong in our religion and never accept this rebellion against God, this occupation, this oppression of the Palestinian people. And just let us state clearly that when they decided to make the state, the chief rabbi of Palestine himself, Rabbi Dushinsky, of blessed memory, in 1947, this is United Nations documents, pleaded with the United Nations. He said, we furthermore wish to express our definite opposition to a Jewish state in any part of Palestine. He was the chief rabbi of Palestine. And the ones that the Zionists, instead of listening to the voice of truth, they decided to make another farce, a rabbinate, Israeli rabbinate with their chief rabbi. But we, as Jews, have our rabbinate there who are totally oppose the state of Israel, and we will never accept it. We pray to God to bring a speedy and peaceful dismantlement to the Zionist state of Israel, and that we should once again be able to return the sovereign